Hi everyone, I'm Chris Hernandez and this is the Weekly Report, a look at news from the city of Kansas City, Missouri. KC's streetcar, which has gained a lot of national attention, is also adding to citizen satisfaction with quality of life right here in Kansas City, Missouri. The annual Citizen Satisfaction Survey was presented to the City Council this week. It shows a 5% increase in quality of life satisfaction in KCMO. More than 34% of survey respondents indicate they have ridden the streetcar already, and a significant number also say they are more satisfied with public transportation. The city uses this kind of survey data to help guide city priorities. Summer is in full swing and it's pretty hot out there, so you can beat the heat by remembering some safety tips for both you and your pets. Do not use a fan as your primary source of cooling. If your home does not have air conditioning, you can visit a public building each day, such as a community center, for at least several hours to stay cool, and you can participate in activities there. Be sure to check on your neighbors, friends, and relatives at least twice a day, morning and night. Never leave children or pets alone in closed vehicles, not even with the windows partially rolled down. The temperature inside a car can exceed 140 degrees and can kill within minutes. If you do have to work outside or in a non-air-conditioned workplace, be sure to take frequent breaks, rest in the shade, and drink plenty of water. Be sure your pet also has plenty of water, and keep pets out of the sun and preferably indoors. Avoid letting them walk on hot surfaces that can burn and blister their feet. For more safety tips, visit kcmo.gov and enter the word heat in the search box. Now let's take a look at what's happening around several city departments.
Hi, I'm Heidi Markle with KC Parks. July is National Park and Recreation Month, which means it's time to get your play on. Discover the power of play with Kansas City Parks and Recreation as we celebrate all month long. Tag pictures of you, your family, and friends enjoying our events, attractions, and facilities with the hashtags PlayOnJuly and KC Parks. A groundbreaking for a new monument in Ilis Davis Park honoring the Native sons and daughters of Greater Kansas City will take place on Thursday, July 20th at 10 a.m. The Native Sons and Daughters is an organization dedicated to the historic preservation of the unique and rich heritage of the Greater Kansas City metropolitan area. Stop by the groundbreaking for a free hot dog and enjoy entertainment by a Dixieland jazz band. Kansas City's official Park and Recreation Month celebration, the Big Picnic, takes place on Sunday, July 23rd, as KC Parks and the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art host the biggest picnic the region has ever seen. The Donald J. Hall Sculpture Park and Tice Park will be linked to become a giant space for all to come together for an evening of free, fun family activities. Details at kcparks.org. Kansas City's newest off-leash dog park is opening on Saturday, July 29th at 4 p.m. The West Terrace Dog Park, located at 750 Pennsylvania Street, is an enclosed 1.5-acre park featuring fantastic views of the West Bottoms and Missouri River. Amenities include benches, park stairs, shade pavilion with picnic tables, swipe card entry, and 2 drinking fountains. Visit our website for opening information and park updates. To learn more about these or other events Kansas City Parks and Recreation has to offer, visit kcparks.org and click on the calendar. Or give us a call at 816-513-7500.
The Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is a hub of activity with exhibitions and tours and related programs, including an event, the Hot Dog Festival, that is coming up on August 12th that is supported by the Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund. Here to tell us more about what's happening at the museum is Dr. Ray Doswell, the Vice President of Curatorial Services. Dr. Ray, thank you for having us here today.
We're glad to have you.
Can you give us, for people especially who've never been to the Baseball Museum, can you give us some background as to when the Baseball Museum was established and why it was established?
The museum was initially established in 1990 when a group of local historians of former baseball players wanted to highlight the history of African American baseball in this area. And Kansas City is significant to that national story, in that the Negro National League, the first successful grouping or league of all black baseball teams, was founded here at the historic YMCA on the Paseo Boulevard. Those local business people and entrepreneurs and others came together, wanted to create a monument to that legacy, and thus the Baseball Museum was formed in a small office in the Lincoln Building, then a larger display in the Lincoln Building, and through the help and support of the city as part of the 18th and Vine Museum Complex, and we share the building with the American Jazz Museum. And many of our visitors are from out of town. I'd say if you can come to the museum at any given time, and you will hear from people from all over the country, and occasionally all over the world. Folks who are baseball fans, folks who are history fans, maybe they know a little bit about baseball history or African American history. When they come here, they get the broad story, the broad scope of this history.
Can you tell us about the Hot Dog Festival that's coming up in a few weeks?
The Baseball Museum is pleased to offer the Heart of America Hot Dog Festival, which is an annual salute to the connections between baseball and that great American treat, the hot dog. It's an idea that our president, Bob Kendrick, came up with, and it's just a great community music festival, primarily with the support of the NTDF and the city, as well as our great sponsors, Hy-Vee, Pepsi, and Farmland. We're able to provide thousands of hot dogs for fans to come and purchase and help raise money for the museum. And we've got an all-star lineup. If you're into funk and R&B, we have After 7 and Zap, which are great historic funk and R&B bands, as well as our local favorites, Bloodstone, who were pioneers in old school R&B music, among some other talent as well. So folks can come out and get some food, hear some great music, and enjoy the outdoors.
Well, this is your fourth year, so how many people do you anticipate this year?
We've anticipated close to well over 3,000, maybe even as high as 7,000 to 10,000 folks. It's a little bit different this year. We have a little bit more space to work with. Normally the event is on the north side of the museum complex near the Gregg Center, but because of construction of the Youth Baseball Academy, we moved it now to the median at Paseo, between Paseo and 18th Street and Truman Road. So we have a little bit more space to work with, and so we anticipate big crowds and are praying for great weather for our event.
And you not only have locals come, you have people from out of town come. Would you say that's a pretty significant percentage of your attendees?
The primary core of those folks who are coming to the festival are mostly our local patrons who live in and around the neighborhood and in Kansas City. But because the museum is such a great national attraction, we expect a lot of folks in from out of town who come. We have a great membership base out of town as well, so they want to support, and this is a wonderful opportunity for them to come into town, see the museum again, and of course enjoy great music. And it's one of the last opportunities to do something fun before school starts and before the end of summer.
And if people want more information about these events, your exhibitions, where would they go?
Well, tickets for the Hot Dog Festival are available through Eventbrite, but you can link there at our website, which is www.nlbm.com. We also are on Facebook as well, so you can go to the museum site on Facebook, which has lots of great news and information about our exhibits, traveling exhibits, and other activities that are happening around the nation related to Negro Leagues history. And you can follow our president, Bob Kendrick, on Twitter at NLBMPrez. That's the official Twitter account for the museum.
And you have tickets that are on sale for the Hot Dog Festival, but after the 21st, is that when the price goes up a little bit?
That's right. We have a special offer for folks right now. It's a really special offer. $10 for adults, $5 for children for the Hot Dog Festival. That sale ends on on July 21st. But what you get with that special offer is that you also get a free hot dog and a free drink with your ticket. But that ends on July 21st. We're thankful. We're thankful for the support of the city that recognizes what we do here and the attraction that we are for folks from out of town. All the entities in the city, including City Hall, NTDF, the Convention and Visitor Association, all have been very supportive of our efforts, and we want to keep that going.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for having us here today.
You're welcome.
The Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund supports local nonprofits that bring cultural, social, educational, and recreational activities to our area. To learn about additional upcoming events, visit kcmo.gov/ntdf.
We all know how well meat and vegetables go together in a meal. But before he cooked for his family, Terrence had to be careful to keep his lettuce and pork chops separate. Why? Because harmful bacteria from the raw meat can cross-contaminate other foods and may make those eating it very sick. If Terrence had forgotten to bring separate bags for his meat and produce at the grocery store, any bacteria from the pork chops could have cross-contaminated the head of lettuce. These bacteria can come from the juices of raw meat, or even just the products or product packaging touching when no visible juices are present. Fortunately, Terrence kept his raw meat and produce separated. But his food isn't out of danger yet. Cross-contamination can also happen in his refrigerator. But Terrence remembered to keep his raw meat and vegetables separate. More cross-contamination avoided. Terrence must be very careful when cutting his meat because, though he can't see it, there could be bacteria on this pork. He can spread this bacteria from the meat to his utensils, his vegetables, and his kitchen towel. If he does not wash his hands well after touching the meat, cross-contamination is far more likely. But fortunately for his family, Terrence was careful. Terrence washes his hands with soap and warm water for 20 seconds after handling the pork. He also washes the cutting board and utensils. He keeps his vegetables separate from his raw meat, and he's careful to keep the cutting board and utensils used for the meat away from his raw vegetables. All Terrence has to do now is use a food thermometer to be sure that his meat is safely cooked. The pork's internal temperature is safe at 145 degrees Fahrenheit. All whole cuts of pork, beef, and lamb require a 3-minute rest time before they're safe to eat. During these 3 minutes after meat is removed from the heat source, its temperature remains constant or continues to rise, which destroys any remaining bacteria. Terrence was careful not to cross-contaminate his kitchen or food, And by cooking his meat to the proper temperature, he serves his family food that is safe to eat. He keeps the pork and lettuce separate during his prep, and now he can safely serve them together. For more information on how to prevent cross-contamination, visit foodsafety.gov. If you have specific questions, you can call USDA's Meat and Poultry Hotline toll-free at 1-888-MP-HOTLINE.
The Public Improvements Advisory Committee, also called PIAC, invites residents to voice their ideas at a series of citywide and district hearings this summer. PIAC funds typically are used for flood control, storm drainage, street resurfacing, bridge repairs, traffic signals, tree trimming and planting, as well as improvements to parks and trails. Upcoming public district hearings will be held on Thursday, July 20th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Shoal Creek Police Station at 6801 Northeast Pleasant Valley Road. Also Wednesday, July 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Country Club Congregational Church, 205 West 65th Street in Brookside. And also on Thursday, July 27th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the East Patrol Police Station at 2640 Prospect Avenue. Residents can also submit requests online at kcmo.gov/PIAC. You can also call to request a form at 816-513-8828 or email PIAC, P-I-A-C, at kcmo.org. The complete list of summer PIAC hearings is available on the city's website. Want to help plan an even better future in the Northland? Join the City Planning Department to discuss the area plan for Shoal Creek Valley. You can participate on Wednesday, July 19th at Woodneath Library, which is located at 8900 Flintlock Road. It runs from 6 to 8 p.m. Area plans provide strategies for a community's long-term plans and guide decisions about land use, housing, and city services. You can also comment online about the Shoal Creek Valley Area Plan. Just visit our virtual town hall at kcmomentum.org. That does it for this edition of the Weekly Report. To view this program again or other Channel 2 videos, go to kcmo.gov and search Channel 2 to find the link to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on our social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Chris Hernandez. Have a great week, everyone.